Hey guys, Chris Zaldain with you once again here. We are hanging out in the shop, and there's one question I get asked at gas stations, traveling all over the country, more than any other question I get. And that is, what are those things on the back of your boat? These things are 8-foot shallow water anchors, power poles, the original power pole invented decades ago. They are just 8-foot stakes that scissor down, and they're connected to my Bob's hydraulic jack plate via a giant aluminum bracket here. And with it being all aluminum construction, it cuts down on weight without sacrificing rigidity and strength here. And what there is here, this is a 4-foot fiberglass stake that bends and moves and twists as the waves kind of hit your boat, but it keeps you locked in place, whether it's a soft bottom mud, sand, or a hard bottom rock, or any other type of structure. Having 2 shallow water anchors on the back of my boat really allows me to forget about, that wind blowing you into that person's dock, or, being blown off your fishing hotspot. Shallow water anchors are an absolute must when you're fishing in that shallow water, typically 8 feet of water or less. Now, they do have a 10-foot version as well that some guys on tour prefer to run. I like the 8-footers. I like how short they are. I like how quiet, how swift, and how fast they are when I go to deploy them. Now, the way I have this rigged up is it's essentially a hydraulic pump that's hooked up to a 12-volt battery source, which is essentially your cranking battery. So to crank up this big 250 Mercury here, we're sharing that battery in the bilge area of the boat. The 2 hydraulic pumps, they work off of Bluetooth technology, so I have several different buttons that I use all throughout the boat. I got 2 at the bow, a couple at the console, so no matter where I'm at in my boat, I could deploy these shallow water anchors in time of emergency or in time of need. Essentially, all boating electronics are hooked up to a 12-volt battery source. In this case, this is the house battery. It's just an AGM cranking battery that I use, again, with the outboard. It's just a simple red on red, black on black connection to that 12-volt house battery. And throughout the years, we've seen the progression of, back in the 80s and 90s, you just use an old school mushroom type anchor connected to a rope. And then, we saw the progression through the late 90s, early 2000s, where guys were running just a single pole. But what we found was the wind would really pivot that boat around, not keeping you in the same exact spot where you need to be when it comes to catching more fish. So the dual power pole system was introduced decades ago, and it is still in play to this day. So if you're the type of shallow water fisherman that is up and down in the boat, you catch a couple fish, put them in the live well, you don't want to use your spot lock and really emit noise in that area from your trolling motor. If you want to be swift, silent, and secure, power pole shallow water anchors are right for you.